Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I've been putting off talking about this one for a while now. Not because I didn't want to talk about it, but because I needed to get it right. And now it's time. But before we get into that, don't forget to check this exclusive discount for it. You can find the link in both the video description and the top comment below. Alright, enough talk. Let's get right into it.
Let's start by delving into the insights shared by our first reviewer.
This reviewer found their new electric scooter to be incredibly useful, though they note it has a few significant limitations. For this client, who was using the vehicle for mobility while recovering from foot surgery, the experience was largely positive but came with a learning curve. The biggest issue they encountered was the single-speed throttle. Instead of a variable control that allows for a smooth, continuous low speed, the scooter operates with a simple on or off acceleration. This makes navigating tight spaces or crowded areas at a slow pace challenging, as it requires a constant pulsing of the throttle, surging forward and then gliding to maintain a low speed. Our reviewer strongly advises potential buyers to be aware of this feature. Beyond the throttle, they also observed that the scooter lacks significant power on hills and that the battery life seems limited, though they admit to charging it frequently due to their circumstances. However, these drawbacks were offset by several features that made it perfect for their situation. The optional seat was a massive benefit, providing ample comfort, and the spacious platform was large enough to accommodate a surgical walking boot with room to spare. They also highlighted the ability to use it as a traditional kick scooter without power, which was invaluable in tight indoor spaces. While its weight is somewhat unbalanced, they found it manageable enough to lift in and out of a car daily. Despite its flaws and the fact that it was an impulse purchase, this scooter proved to be an invaluable aid during their recovery. One final minor frustration noted was the awkwardly placed power switch, which is out of sight and easy to forget. Overall, however, this personal vehicle served its unintended purpose remarkably well.
Cool. Let's uncover what our next reviewer has to say.
This reviewer finds this scooter to be a fantastic value, and while they understand some of the common complaints, they believe the manufacturer made deliberate choices to maintain its accessibility. The most notable trade-off is the battery technology. This personal vehicle uses old-school lead-acid batteries, which are heavy, require a very long time to recharge, and cannot be swapped out on the go to extend a trip. However, the major benefit, as our reviewer points out, is that replacing them is incredibly cheap, costing just a fraction of what a single battery for a modern electric bike might. In terms of performance, the experience was quite positive. The scooter's large tires provide a smoother ride on rougher surfaces, and its runtime actually exceeded the manufacturer's claims. The speed feels perfectly adequate for casual use. It's important to note, though, that this machine has almost no hill climbing power and will struggle on even the slightest incline. The throttle is also a simple on or off switch, lacking variable speed control, but our reviewer didn't find this to be a significant issue. Practical features add to its appeal. Assembly was reported to be quick and easy, and the removable seat offers great versatility, allowing for either a seated or standing ride. Its compact size was another bonus, fitting easily into a small space. This client did encounter a few quirks, such as a confusing charging light that indicates a full charge prematurely and some difficulty inflating the rear tire. Despite these minor issues and the understandable performance limitations, our reviewer considers this scooter an exceptional deal, offering solid quality and functionality for its price point.
Alright, let's find out what our next reviewer has to share.
This reviewer acquired this seated electric scooter for a very specific, unconventional goal, fitting it into a Cessna 172. The aim was to have ground transport from a remote grass strip near their cabin, a notion many online aviation communities had advised against due to weight and size, often suggesting a folding bike instead. Despite skepticism, our reviewer purchased the scooter a couple of months ago. It mostly stayed in the garage but saw occasional use, with their 2-year-old daughter particularly enjoying rides on their lap around the neighborhood. At 35 years old and 190 pounds, plus their 30-pound daughter in the 10-pound seat, the combined 230-pound load is capably handled by the scooter, though it would undoubtedly feel more nimble with less cargo. Performance-wise, this scooter isn't fast but performs adequately, even surprisingly handling a typical city-sloped hill without stopping, merely slowing its pace. Its construction feels solid, with good brakes and nice tires. Battery life seems respectable for shorter trips. After an estimated 3 to 5 miles, ample charge remains, with the rider usually tiring before the power gives out. However, a few drawbacks are notable. The scooter can be quite noisy and chattery, sometimes sounding like it's struggling, suggesting it operates near its limits with an adult. The battery technology feels outdated, likely an older type prone to memory effect, a shorter overall lifespan, and sensitivity to overcharging, as detailed even in the manual. A modern battery would significantly enhance these aspects. Comfort is another issue for an adult, especially someone around 511. The riding position is cramped and hunched, making for an awkward appearance. Ultimately, this reviewer wouldn't recommend this electric scooter for purely recreational adult use, as it clearly caters more to children and teenagers. Their daughter adores it. However, for its highly specific mission of fitting into the plane and privity.
If this video helped you out, give it a like and hit subscribe for more. Got thoughts? Drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.